South Africa's education crisis is on the rise, especially in the Eastern Cape. In 2012, it had the worst matric pass rate and hasn't moved up the ranks since then. Is the problem in the teaching? What could it be? We're in rural Bizana, and here someone is doing something to improve the level of education.
I grew up like a normal boy in rural areas. I headed my father's cattle, sheep and goats. But we also had an opportunity of going to school. As a young boy looking after cattle, we had to exchange. One had to go in turns. One had to go today, another one to go to another day. Schooling was not that much interesting. Firstly, there was this issue of punishment, which scared children from going to school. And now at school itself, it was just a normal classroom where teachers would go with their books, which was scarce in any way. There were virtually no learning instruments, like we had no science laboratories, no libraries, computer laboratories.
We're teaching about 112 learners, up to 120 learners in one classroom.
It was so difficult. We weren't able to learn so much things. We had no playgrounds. They were not leveled. The water was clean, but not chlorinated. It was from the ground.
This old school is very near to the road. We had many fatalities there. Children were dying there. When they leave the school, they were just getting to the road.
It was difficult to give individual attention to a child.
Teachers tried their best to make teaching more interesting. In fact, they had to improvise most of the things that were assisting and learning. And maybe that is how exactly influenced and an interest in me in teaching, that one day we need to improve these conditions, and that should contribute in improving the teaching conditions of the learners.
Being aware of the many problems in rural education, Anglo American Platinum stepped in and built a brand new school with all the state-of-the-art facilities.
Anglo American Platinum's role in the S9E07 School in Bizana was a sponsor of about 36 million in an area that truly has become the beacon. That school is now the beacon in the area.
After all, there is hope for good education in the rural areas. See you after the break. Children at S9E07 now have the opportunity to work towards being whatever they want.
And the facilities are very modern. Also, it is able to accommodate more kids that come from the area.
As a science teacher, I had to keep my stuff in the office, in cartons, and unpack them when I go to class, and then repack them to my storeroom. This new school is quite different.
Now we know the child as individual. We know the weakness of each child and the strength of each child.
There's a library. Our learners now are experiencing the use of the library. They can go to the library when their class are not there. They can borrow books there to infer to what has been taught in class, or to have extra reading material. Our learners are being exposed to more advanced teaching equipment and techniques. Like I can tell you, my learners have been experiencing the use of a microscope when we're here, something they have never experienced, even their parents. Myself, I first touched a microscope when I was at the university.
The most thing I learned here is about a microscope, and I don't think there is any school around my school having a microscope.
I'm also discovering things that I have long learned about it theoretically, but I've never done them practically. But now at this new school, I'm having an advantage of being exposed to the equipment that is the facilities.
My job has changed a lot now that we've got a new school. My learners have improved. They achieve more in maths and in English, even in sports. I'm a netball coach. I like my teaching profession because it's a noble profession.
And now we have right sports field here. We are able to play.
It happens to be in an area where we source labor. The conditions are very concerning.
And in this school, you find out that there are children who wake up in the morning and come to school without having food. So at school, we are provided with food to eat at 11 o'clock. You go to the kitchen and take food and dish out in the class.
I think the community is being changed. It's in the process of being changed now.
We pride ourselves in taking care of our employees both at work and away from work.
Our school goal is to improve from 75%, which is average, to 80% to 2014. And we intend improving that gradually, at least by 5% annually.
The Eastern Cape historically has been an important supplier of workforce for the mining industry, and we're no different from that.
Every learner should be very much concerned about the work ethics. They should be at school almost all the time. Learners should be frequently be present in their classes, and they should do their work, and their parents should be involved in monitoring whether their children are doing their homeworks. Our hope is that the ethics should be a model of the schools in the area.
If our employees ought to give us the best of their time, so do their dependents deserve to have the best of facilities where they can be better educated as well.
We want to have students who go to universities and explore studies in the field of science. Areas that are normally regarded as not relevant to learners from rural areas.
The new school helped me to get more knowledge. My dream, I would like to study more about science, so I need to work hard on my studies. I would like to be a scientist one day.